Patience, sablanut. Patience, grasshopper. This week's parsha, please be patient, savlan, with me. This week's parsha, Vayetzei, is an incredible lesson in patience, savlanut. Too many people in the world today expect to get what they want exactly when they want it. Too many are lacking in patience and lacking in the hard work it can take over a period of time to be able to ultimately attain that which we seek. We have to be prepared to put forth the time and the effort. And we have to, as challenging as it may be prepared to be patient. This week's parsha, Vayetzei, is an incredible lesson in patience. Yaakov is an amazing model of patience. Vayetzei means, and he left. This parsha takes us from Yaakov leaving the land of his father and building up to his journey back, finally, 20 years later. This reading begins with Yaakov leaving his hometown of Beersheba and journeying to Haran. While taking a break for a night's sleep en route, he encounters the place and dreams of a ladder connecting heaven and earth, and angels ascending and descending on it. And that certainly can be a sermon for another time. God appears and promises Yaakov that the land upon which he lies will ultimately be that of his descendants. And there's another sermon. But if you're patient, savlan with me, I will get to the point of this sermon. Savlanut. In Haran, Yaakov falls in love with his uncle Lavan's daughter, Rachel. Lavan agrees that Yaakov can marry his daughter, but in exchange for 7 years of labor. At the wedding, however, it is Lavan's older daughter, Leah, who is under the veil and marries Yaakov. Lavan claims his right to arrange it so, as the older should marry before the younger. As Yaakov, though, so wanted to marry Rachel, and those being times when a man could have more than one wife, Lavan agrees that Yaakov could marry Rachel too, but in exchange for another 7 years of labor. Over his long years of servitude, Yaakov becomes the father of 11 sons and 1 daughter. And there are certainly sermons ready from there as well. After the 14 years of servitude, Yaakov wants to return home, but Lavan convinces him to stay and labor further in exchange for his own flock. And Yaakov does prosper despite Lavan's efforts to swindle him. Another 6 years later, after now 20 years of laboring for Lavan, Yaakov decides and is reminded by God that his departure is long overdue. But fearing that Lavan will try to prevent his leaving, Yaakov and his family stealthily take leave of Haran to head for home. As Yaakov strongly states, Ze esrim shana anochi amach. These 20 years I have been with you. 20 years he has served Lavan. 20 years he has been away from his homeland. 20 years he has patiently waited. Waited patiently to be able to leave, and waited patiently to return home. This week's parsha, Vayetzei, as I began, is an incredible lesson in patience, savlanut. Too many people in the world today expect to get what they want exactly when they want it. Too many are lacking in patience and lacking in the hard work it can take over a period of time to be able to ultimately attain that which we seek. We have to be prepared to put forth the time and the effort, and we have to, as challenging as it may be prepared to be patient, savlan. While I urge us all to not stop striving for that which is right, to not stop doing our part, to be more good, to do more good, to bring more good into this world, let us also remember the importance and the power of patience, savlanut. As Leo Tolstoy declared, the 2 most powerful warriors are patience and time. In the profound words of Aristotle, patience is bitter, but its fruit is sweet. And as Kwai Chang Caine so well knew, patience, young grasshopper. And with that, I wish you l'Shabbat Shalom.